Hello and welcome to the Grimaldi Forum in Monaco for the UEFA Europa League draw. Today we are joined by representatives from the clubs that have qualified, and a warm welcome one and all.
Yes, a warm welcome from all of us. It will not be long before we find out who is playing who in this season's competition, which, like the UEFA Champions League and the UEFA Conference League, takes a big leap forward this year with a brand new league phase, replacing the current group stage.
We will, of course, explain as we go. But before we do, let's take a look back at the story of last year's competition and a reminder how Atalanta made history, winning their first ever European trophy.
This storm is out of control, no talking. Ever can explain that calling.
A thing of wonder to seal the deal for West Ham United. Parte il tiro, rete, Dybala, gol bellissimo.
Ein Pfiff und jetzt kommt Leverkusen. Was für ein Tor!
Atalanta in vantaggio, gran gol di Lookman.
Dobar dribling, Lookman!
Na levo, Lookman! 3-0 vodi Atalanta.
An extraordinary night. Hard to put into words. The effort from everybody. We showed the winning spirit tonight. It's a fantastic feeling being able to take this beautiful trophy back to Bergamo with us.
Yeah, certainly is a beautiful trophy, and here with it is a UEFA Cup winner with IFK Gothenburg and an Atalanta legend. He made 273 appearances for the club, guiding them back to Serie A and captaining them for 4 years until his retirement in 1992. He is also a former Swedish international who made more than 50 appearances for his country. Please welcome, everyone, the Atalanta club legend and a cult hero, Glenn Stromberg.
Hey, Glenn.
Hi there.
Lovely to see you, as always.
Still got a fine head of hair, young man.
A little bit less, but
Still looks good to me. Obviously, you're an Atalanta stalwart, legend, player of yesteryear, and I'm sure still a fan. What was that night with Lookman and everything against Leverkusen like for you in Dublin?
It was something really, really special. I couldn't thought that Atalanta could do a thing like that, thinking about my years when we played there. We were a little bit the best small team in Italy during that time, but I never thought that we could come to this level. And we were so glad, and not just the team, the staff, the manager, but the whole Bergamo. They've been waiting for it so long to try to win something, and now they win something in Europe also. That was so big for all of the people in Bergamo and around. So we were crying everyone that night.
Yeah, and it was the style and the manner in which they did it as well. It was a really incredible victory.
Yeah, and I think it started already in the quarterfinal. Because as you know, I've been doing commentator Premier League for more than 10 years, 12 years or something like that, 15 years. And to go to Liverpool and win that game, that, you know, you've seen Liverpool so many times, playing so good football, being so good at home at Anfield. And they're coming there, not just winning. They're playing in that way, with risk, but they did it in their way. And that, I think, it was the most proud thing for everyone in Bergamo, that they played in the Atalanta way. Wonderful.
And you know what? The excitement continues because they're now in the Champions League. And if you saw the draw yesterday, is Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal as well. I mean, Atalanta fans have been in dreamland all of last season.
Yeah.
It's going to continue. How excited are you about that?
Real Madrid and Barcelona need to watch out.
Like it. In Gasperini we trust. Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Glenn, you will help us with today's UEFA Europa League draw, the final of which, of course, will be held in Spain at the home of Athletic Bilbao, the San Mamés Stadium. It was the venue of last season's Women's UEFA Champions League final, you'll recall, and it's a ground this year's UEFA final ambassador knows all too well.
Yes, he does indeed. He is one of Bilbao's greatest ever players, scoring more than 170 goals for the club in 3 different spells with Los Leones, and he has quite the record in this competition as well, leading the scoring charts in the UEFA Europa League on 2 separate occasions. Please welcome our UEFA final ambassador for this year's UEFA Europa League, Aritz Aduriz. ¿Cómo estás? Aritz, lovely to see you. Un placer tenerte aquí. I want to ask Aritz about his best moment with Los Leones. Es un club que, no sé, tiene una identidad muy fuerte, es un club muy especial. Tú tuviste 3 épocas en este club. ¿Cuál era tu momento más especial?
Bueno, es difícil decir un momento especial porque al final todos los momentos fueron muy especiales. Era el equipo en el que quería jugar, en el que quería estar. Y todos los momentos fueron muy especiales para mí. Quizás jugar en Europa con el Athletic varias temporadas seguidas fue muy importante para nosotros y si tuviese que destacar un momento cumbre en mi etapa sería en el 2015 que ganamos un título de la Supercopa de España contra el Barcelona. El Athletic llevaba 31 años sin ganar un título y creo que fue un momento importante para todos.
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's difficult to pick in those 3 spells in one club. He loved playing, they loved playing in the Europa League as well, but the most special moment was winning the Supercopa against Barcelona, that great Barcelona side as well, in 2015 as well, when you'd gone 31 years without winning a trophy with Los Leones, which is incredible.
And an opportunity now for the town, the city of Bilbao, for the Stadium of San Mamés, que noche mágica será por una final europea, ¿no?
Sí, San Mamés creo que es más que un estadio, es un símbolo de pasión de la gente con su equipo, con el Athletic, con el fútbol. Hay una atmósfera única en el estadio y creo que es una oportunidad muy buena para que Europa y la gente disfrute de este maravilloso estadio, y creo que la gente que vaya a poder jugar y vaya a poder estar allí van a tener una oportunidad muy buena y disfrutarán muchísimo de este estadio único.
You won't be surprised to know that he's pretty pleased San Mamés is going to host the final, and it'll be an opportunity to everybody to fall in love again, I'm sure, with Bilbao, and that it's more than a stadium, it's a place to go and worship for those that love athletic. Lovely to have you with us, Aritz, for today's draw.
Thank you.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, the UEFA Europa League format is changing this season in line with fellow competitions. If you saw the draw for the UEFA Champions League, you'll know what the changes are and the benefits they will bring. More high-quality matches from the outset, more competitive balance between the sides, more riding on every single game. It will be a season like no other. To tell us more about it, please welcome to the stage the UEFA Deputy General Secretary, Giorgio Marchetti.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monaco, and we lift the curtain on the 24-25 UEFA Europa League season, an occasion that marks not just a usual kickoff, but a new era in this competition's history. Throughout its many iterations since 1971, however, the essence has remained unchanged. The tournament is a theater of the unexpected, where the impossible becomes reality on the grandest of stages for all clubs who earn it in their domestic competitions. Today, we launch its latest evolution, the 36-team league phase, where every single goal scored or missed carries the weight of destiny. Victory or defeat, glory or heartbreak will hinge on the smallest of moments on pitches across Europe. The stakes, for sure, have never been higher. And this is exactly what the new format was created to do, make a more dynamic and unpredictable competition from the very first whistle. So we wish the 36 clubs representing 22 national associations the very best of luck. But before we unveil their journey, let's just take a moment to review the technical procedure for today's brand new draw.
The 36 teams that have qualified for the league phase are divided into 4 pots. Pot 1 features the top 9 highest ranked qualified teams in the UEFA Club Coefficient ranking. Pot 2 comprises the next 9 qualified teams in the ranking, and so on for pots 3 and 4. The draw will determine the 8 opponents for each team that they will face during the new league phase. To assign these teams opponents, a computer software will be triggered to select at random 2 eligible teams from each pot. It will take into account the following conditions before selecting the opponents. Teams from the same national association cannot be drawn against each other. Teams can face a maximum of 2 opponents from any one other national association. Starting with pot 1, a ball is manually drawn at random and opened to display the team, at which point an automated software randomly draws 8 opponents for this team, 2 from each pot, including for each opponent, whether they are played at home or away. The software randomly draws opponents from each pot from amongst all the valid options, while ensuring that the draw can be continued until the end. Once a valid allocation has been drawn by the software, the opponents and which matches are played at home or away will be revealed. The process is repeated until all 9 teams from pot 1 have been drawn and assigned their 8 opponents. Any opponent that has already been drawn does not need to be revealed and will be displayed directly in the opponent overview. Once all 9 pot 1 teams have been drawn, pot 2 will follow with a ball again manually drawn at random. As all opponents of pot 1 have been designated, the software moves immediately to draw 2 opponents at random from each of pots 2 to 4, again allocating which matches are played at home and which are played away. Pot 3 and pot 4 will be completed, as per the same procedure as previous pots, with only opponents from the relevant remaining pots to be drawn each time. It is important to note that the display of ties is shown for the home and away ties by pot and does not represent the order of the matches of each team. The match calendar with the dates and kick-off times of the matches will be released on Saturday.
Okay, that's the technical procedure, which means we are ready to begin the draw for this season's UEFA Europa League. For pots 1 and 2, it'll be Glenn who will be drawing the teams. Aritz will be pressing that all-important button, which reveals their opponents, which the computer has allocated automatically.
First up then, pot 1, funnily enough, which contains teams with fantastic footballing heritage. AS Roma, Manchester United, FC Porto, AFC Ajax, Rangers FC, Eintracht Frankfurt, SS Lazio, Tottenham Hotspur and SK Slavia Praha. So, gentlemen, the three wise men to my right. Shall we begin, Giorgio?
Thank you. Of course, we have to begin. That's what everybody wants. I just shuffled the balls, and now, thanks to Glenn's kind assistance, we can kick off the draw of the new UEFA Europa League. And the first team drawn is
Rangers.
Rangers FC, first team drawn from Glasgow, twice finalists in 2008 and quite recently in 2022. So obviously Rangers is the first club drawn, and they will be allocated to 8 different opponents, thanks to Aritz now pressing the button. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aris. This is who Rangers will be playing. What a lineup, hey? Pot 1, they're at home to Tottenham Hotspur, away at Old Trafford against Manchester United. Really, really tasty opposition from Pot 1. From Pot 2, they will host Olympique Lyonnais and travel to meet the Conference League holders Olympiacos. From Pot 3, they're at home to Union Saint-Gilloise, and they travel to Sweden to take on Malmo. And from Pot 4, it is CSB, I should say, and they are away, I should say, just down the road from here in Pot 4 against OGC Nice.
Yes. Exciting British derbies. How can we start better? Let's go ahead. Who comes after Rangers? Here we go.
Roma.
AS Roma. So AS Roma, Daniele De Rossi's boys. 2 times finalists as well, like Rangers. 302 goals scored in this competition, just behind Sporting and Tottenham and PSV. So we can go also with Roma. We want to allocate, to draw 8 opponents to Roma. Press the button.
Excellent button pushing. Thank you, Aritz. And here we go with Roma's 8 ties from Pot 1. They are at home to Eintracht Frankfurt and they'll travel to Spurs. From Pot 2, they host Braga and travel to AZ Alkmaar in the Netherlands. From Pot 3, a home tie against Dynamo Kiev and a trip to Saint-Gilloise. And from Pot 4, they are at home against Athletic Club and they'll travel to Sweden to take on Elfsborg. Those are the 8 for De Rossi's team.
Of course, at home with Athletic, they hope to visit Athletic later, maybe in May. Let's see what comes. Now, a third club to be drawn.
Eintracht Frankfurt.
Eintracht Frankfurt, the winners of 2022 and also the 1980. So, with Eintracht Frankfurt, what we know about them, that they will play Roma away and other 7 opponents. Aris, press the button.
Aris, thank you. The remaining 7 opponents then for Eintracht Frankfurt. From Pot 1, they will host Slavia Praha. From Pot 2, they're at home to Ferencváros and they travel to Olympique Lyonnais. From Pot 3, they're at home to Victoria Pilsen and away in Denmark against Midtjylland. And from Pot 4, it is RFS and they have a trip to Turkey to take on Besiktas.
Yes, and that was Eintracht Frankfurt. We can go ahead. Another ball drawn. Here we go.
FC Porto.
FC Porto. Porto is twice winners, 2003 and 2011, cup winners in Portugal last season. Porto has no opponents drawn yet, so we will draw now 8 and reveal them.
Here come all 8 opponents in for Vitor Bruno's side. They are at home to Manchester United. They travel to the Italian capital to take on Marco Baroni's Lazio. In pot 2, they have Olympiacos and Maccabi Tel Aviv, home and away. In pot 3, it's Midtjylland of Denmark and Bodo Glimt in Norway. And then from pot 4, they're at home to the German side Hoffenheim, and they travel to Belgium to take on Anderlecht.
Good, so we can proceed after Porto. Ready again?
Slavia Praga.
So we move to SK Slavia Praha now, the semi-finalists of 1996 of Slavia. So far they have been drawn against Frankfurt away, so we can reveal now 7 more opponents.
Yeah, the 7 opponents then for Slavia Praha from pot 1. It is a home tie against Ajax. From pot 2, Fenerbahce and PAOK, home and away. From pot 3, they will host Malmo and travel to Bulgaria to take on Ludogorets. And from pot 4, they're at home to Anderlecht and they travel to San Mamés to take on Athletic Bilbao.
Perfect, that's the journey of Slavia Praha in the league phase. We're ready for another draw.
Manchester United.
Now the Red Devils of Manchester United, winners in 2017, the most recent English winner of this competition. So we're ready. They will play against Rangers and Porto in pot number 1. But please, 6 more opponents for Man United.
It's already pretty tasty for Ten Hag's team, and here's how it shapes up beyond pot 1. In pot 2, they're at home to PAOK and they travel to Fenerbahce, a journey they've made in the past. They're at home to Bodo Glimt of Norway. They're in Czechia to take on Pilsen. At home to the Netherlands side of Twente, and FCSB is a trip to Bucharest in Romania.
Good, we know everything about Manchester United for the league phase of this season. We're ready, 3 more left.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
So again in England with Tottenham Hotspurs, the Spurs, they were the club who won the inaugural edition of this trophy in 1971-72. For them, we have so far Roma and Rangers. And Aris, please.
Aritz, thank you very much. So we know their opponents from pot 1. From pot 2, they will host AZ Alkmaar, the Dutch side. They will travel to Hungary to take on Ferencváros. From pot 3, they're at home to Karabag and away in Turkey to Galatasaray. And from pot 4, it is Elfsborg at home and Hoffenheim away.
Yes, 2 more. Then please, you can draw one of the 2.
Lazio.
Lazio, we have Lazio now, the club which has played the most times of any other Italian clubs in this competition. We're ready for Lazio. Only Porto has been drawn against them. We can proceed.
Let's fill it up for Lazio. After Porto, they'll take on Ajax. That's a road trip. They're at home to Real Sociedad. They are in Portugal to take on Braga. It's a home tie at the Olympico against Ludogorets of Bulgaria. They are away to Dynamo Kyiv, at home to the French side Nice, and they travel to Twente. Just a reminder, these are fixtures, not necessarily a calendar. That will be arranged by tomorrow, Giorgio.
Yes, of course, the calendar will be published on Saturday, yes. So we have a lineup here of teams for all the 36.
Ajax.
And finally, obviously, it is AFC Ajax, winners of 1992, 13 times in the competition, more than any other club. And for Ajax, we have drawn Lazio and Slavia Praha. Aris?
Okay, so the journey for Ajax is now complete. Pot 1 was already set from Pot 2. They will host Maccabi Tel Aviv and travel to Real Sociedad. From Pot 3, they are at home to Galatasaray and away to Karabag. And from Pot 4, it is another Turkish side, Besiktas at home and RFS. So, we did promise big games, didn't we, from this new league phase? We've certainly delivered because the first teams have been drawn, and we do already have some fantastic matchups with Manchester United taking on Rangers, Roma playing Frankfurt, and Lazio against Porto as well, Matt. Not bad.
Not bad. A good start, I think it's fair to say. Let's move on to Pot 2, where 9 more teams are about to find out what and who they have to look forward to in this year's competition. The likes of Real Sociedad, AZ Alkmaar, SC Braga, Olympiacos, Olympique Lyonnais, PAOK FC, Fenerbahce, Maccabi Tel Aviv, and Ferencváros, George.
We're ready. We can go. Glenn, you can shuffle well these 9 balls. And the league phase is taking more shape with all these 9 clubs receiving their 8 opponents. All of them know already the ones of Pot 1.
Maccabi Tel Aviv.
So, Maccabi Tel Aviv, the champions in their country. They have been drawn in Pot 1 against Porto and Ajax. And Aritz, can you press the button now to draw 6 more opponents?
Okay, and this is the picture for Maccabi Tel Aviv. Then from Pot 2, they host Real Sociedad and they're away in Portugal against Braga. From Pot 3, at home to Midtjylland, and they travel to take on Bodo Glimt. And completing the picture for them from Pot 4 is RFS and Besiktas away, I should say.
This is it. That was Maccabi Tel Aviv, and obviously we can continue now.
Fenerbahce.
Now Fenerbahce, Istanbul, of course, semi-finalist in 2013, the last Turkish club to reach this stage of the competition. Fenerbahce received as opponents in Pot 1 Man United and Slavia Praha. Aritz, can we go ahead? Let's draw 6.
So a certain Jose Mourinho already making plans for the visit of one of his former teams. He can look forward to the visit of Olympique Lyonnais 2, and his side will travel to AZ Alkmaar. They're at home to Saint-Gilloise of Belgium. They travel to Denmark to take on Midtjylland, a home game in Istanbul against Athletic, and a trip to the Netherlands to take on Twente. All the plans can start, Giorgio.
Yeah. That's it. This is Fenerbahce. We go ahead, please. Draw another team.
Ferencváros.
The Hungarian champions of Ferencváros, semi-finalists more than 50 years ago, so 1972. We know that they will play Tottenham and Frankfurt, and which other 6?
Yeah, 2 games known already, 6 more to go. From Pot 2, it's AZ Alkmaar and PAOK. From Pot 3, they will host Malmo and travel to Dynamo Kyiv. And from Pot 4, it is OGC Nice at home and Anderlecht away.
Perfect. Ferencváros is done. We can proceed, of course. Thank you so much. PAOK, we are back in Greece with PAOK. PAOK champions of Greece last season. And for PAOK, we have already Slavia Praha, Manchester United, and Ferencváros.
Let's turn 3 into 8 for PAOK. They travel to San Sebastian to take on Sociedad. They're at home to Pilsen. They've got a trip to Istanbul to take on Galatasaray, have the Greek champions. They're at home to FCSB of Romania, and they travel to Latvia to take on RFS.
Good. Good journey also for PAOK, traveling across Europe. Where do we go now?
Braga.
Now it's Sporting Club de Braga finalists in the competition in the edition 2011. They will go twice to the Italian, they will play twice with the teams of the Italian capital, Lazio and Roma, and they will play Maccabi Tel Aviv and another 5 teams.
Yeah, pretty colourful journey then for Braga. As you say, 3 teams already known. The remaining side from pot 2 is Olympiacos. From pot 3, they are at home to Bodo Glimt and away in Belgium to Union Saint-Gilloise. From pot 4, they host Hoffenheim and they are away against Elfsborg.
Yeah, that's all for SC Braga. We can proceed. We have 4 left in this pot 2 to be drawn.
Real Sociedad.
So Real Sociedad the football, the Real Sociedad with their best result in 1989 with the quarterfinals. They will play Ajax, Lazio in pot 1 and PAOK and Maccabi Tel Aviv in pot 2, but we don't know who else in pot 3 and 4.
4 more for Imanol Alguacil's team, and here they are. They're at home to Dynamo Kyiv. They travel to the team Victoria Pilsen in Czechia. They're at home to the Belgian side Anderlecht, and they are just down the road to take on Nice.
Yes, this is all for Real Sociedad. We can continue.
Olympiacos.
Olympiacos, so the winners of the Conference League of last season. Actually, the only club which won 2 club competitions at the end of the same season, so also the Youth League for Olympiacos, really a successful season. And Olympiacos have drawn so far Rangers, Porto and Braga. We're ready.
Yeah, thank you. An incredible journey for Olympiacos up until now. So from, excuse me, from pot 2, their final opponent there is a home tie against Olympique Lyonnais. From pot 3, they're away at Lyon. I'm coughing at the same time, apologies. From pot 3, they are at home also to Karabag and away in Sweden against Malmo. And from pot 4, it's a home tie against the Dutch side FC Twente, and they are away at FCSB.
So perfect
I'll take
schedule for Olympiacos. We can proceed. We have only 2 left before we have drawn 50% of the balls.
AZ Alkmaar.
AZ Alkmaar, so the winners of the Youth League in 2023. AZ Alkmaar drawn against Roma, Tottenham, Fenerbahce and Ferencváros. Aris, let's see who comes in for 3 and 4.
Yep, 4 more for Martin's side. Such a conveyor belt of young talent, and here they come. Their opponents at home in pot 3, Galatasaray, on the road in Bulgaria to take on Ludogorets. Then from pot 4, they're at home to the Swedes of Elfsborg, and they're at the San Mamés to take on Athletic.
Alkmaar will try San Mamés.
Yeah.
Good, 1 ball only for before we complete. Yeah, you can shuffle or not, you decide.
Olympique Lyon.
Olympique Lyonnais, of course. Lyon semi-finalists in 2017, and Lyon up against Frankfurt, Rangers, Olympiacos, Fenerbahce, and this following 4 teams.
Yeah, half the picture was already complete for Olympique Lyonnais. The next half goes like this. From pot 3, they are at home to Ludogorets and away on the road against Karabag. And from pot 4, they host Besiktas and they travel to Germany to take on Hoffenheim.
Okay, pot 2 then is complete. That means we now know a few more of the tasty matches we have to look forward to in this first league stage of the Europa League. Just a few to pick out, perhaps. Fenerbahce against Lyon, as well as a home tie against United, we discussed. Maccabi Tel Aviv will take on Real Sociedad, and Olympiacos will take on Braga. Lots to look forward to, Resh.
Plenty to look forward to, absolutely. Now, we're having a bit of a change over here. Aritz, did you enjoy pressing the button? It was a good job. You did a great job. Glenn, you as well. What we're going to do now is switch you over, I believe. We're going to change your role. So
now it's difficult. You need to speak now.
This is the So Aritz, you will be drawing the teams, and Glenn, you will be pushing the button which prompts the computer to allocate the matches. We just wanted to keep it interesting for you both, you know?
Can't let
we
footballers
test
stand
their
still for
skills.
long.
We test their skills.
We test their skills, absolutely. You stay put, Giorgio. We're good to go in pot 3. Let's have a quick look. It features Karabakh, Galatasaray, FC Victoria Pilsen, Bodo Glimt, Union Saint-Gilloise, Dynamo Kiev, Ludogorets 1945, FC Midtjylland, and Malmo. Giorgio, all yours.
Thank you. Of course, all these teams have already received 50% of their opponents, and now they will complete their path. All of them. Aris, you can draw the first ball.
Union Saint-Gilloise.
Union Saint-Gilloise. So Union Saint-Gilloise, quarter-finalists in 2023, third successive participation in the group stage of this competition. They have been drawn against Roma, Rangers, Braga, and Fenerbahce. Glenn, if you don't mind, you can press the button for 4 more opponents.
Yeah, some fantastic ties for the Belgians already. Completing the puzzle for them then from pot 3, they're at home against Bodo Glimt and on the road against Midtjylland, and they take on OGC Nice and travel to the Netherlands to face FC Twente.
Exactly. So Union Saint-Gilloise is done. Can we see another team?
Ludogorets.
We move to Bulgaria with PFC Ludogorets, champions, and they won for 13 successive seasons the Bulgarian league title. Congratulations to this club. They have been drawn against Slavia, Lazio, Alkmaar, and Lyon. Let's go.
Thank you, Glenn. Yeah, the draw's starting to speed up with some opponents known. We now know the full picture for Ludogorets. They'll also take on Midtjylland at home. They'll travel to Czechia to take on Pilsen. They're at home to Athletic, and they're in Belgium against Anderlecht, Giorgio.
Perfect. We are ready. We can proceed with the next draw.
Malmo.
Malmö. So we go now with the Swedish champions of Malmö, playing against Rangers, Slavia Praha, Olympiacos, and Ferencváros. And I will ask now Glenn to press the button for them.
Yeah, thank you very much, Glenn. The final 4 opponents then for Malmö from pot 3. They take on Galatasaray at home and travel to Karabag, and from pot 4 they host FC Twente, and they're away in Turkey to take on another Turkish side, Beşiktaş.
Yes, that's it for Malmö. We can proceed.
Galatasaray.
And now Galatasaray, 102 points in the Turkish league last season. It was a record for the competition. Galatasaray has drawn Tottenham, Ajax, PAOK, Alkmaar, and Malmö so far.
3 to find, and we found them. They are at home, Galatasaray, to Dynamo Kiev. They're also at home to the Swedes of Elfsborg, and they'll travel to Riga to take on RFS.
Good. Good trip for Galatasaray. We are ready. We can continue. In pot 3, we have 5 more teams ready to be drawn.
Dynamo Kiev.
Now we have Dynamo Kiev. Dynamo Kiev, semi-finalist of 2009. They know they will play Lazio, Roma, Ferencváros, Real Sociedad, and Galatasaray.
Glenn, thank you very much. Just 3 left then for Dynamo Kiev. They have a home tie from pot 3 against Victoria Pilsen. In pot 4, they also have a home tie against RFS, and they travel to Germany to take on Hoffenheim.
That's a picture of Dynamo Kiev. We're ready. We continue.
Midtjylland.
Midtjylland. So we moved to Denmark, and with Midtjylland we played the knockout playoffs in 2023. Midtjylland have drawn already 6 opponents: Frankfurt, Porto, Fenerbahce, Maccabi, Union Saint-Gilloise, and Ludogorets. Yes.
Yeah, the picture gets clearer, just two to find. Here they are. They're at home to Hoffenheim on Midtjylland, and they're in Bucharest to take on FCSB.
Good. Only three are left waiting to learn their remaining opponents.
Karabakh.
Now it's the Azeri champion of Karabakh, also cup winners in Azerbaijan. Their opponents known so far are Ajax, Tottenham, Lyon, Olympiacos, and Malmö.
Yeah, so the league phase for Karabakh is complete with a away tie against Bodo Glimt from pot 3, and from pot 4 they take on FCSB and Elfsborg.
Yes, that's it. That's Karabakh. We are ready to go ahead and see one of the two remaining teams of this pot.
Bodo Glimt.
That's the Norwegian champions of Bodo Glimt, twice in the group stage of the UEFA Europa League with this season. So they know 6: Porto, Manchester United, Maccabi, Braga, Karabakh, and Union Saint-Gilloise.
Two to find. Here they are for the Norwegians of Bodo Glimt. They take on Besiktas at home, and they are down the road from us here in Monaco at OGC Nice. That's the 8.
So only one. Easy to finish this spot.
Victoria Plitzen.
With Victoria Pilsen from Czechia. 3 times in the round of 16, 6 opponents known: Man United, Frankfurt, Real Sociedad, PAOK, Ludogorets, and Dynamo Kiev.
Glenn, thank you very much for completing the picture for Victoria Pilsen. At home, they will host the Belgian side Anderlecht, and they travel to San Mamés to take on Athletic Bilbao. So, 27 of the 36 teams have now been drawn. Among the matches, Union Saint-Gilloise taking on Bodo Glimt, Malmö against Galatasaray, Ludogorets against Midtjylland. This matrix might look complicated, but easy to follow. You just go across the line for your team, and you're ready. There's a lot of information to digest.
Definitely.
Easily done.
Yeah. I hope you haven't got a headache. On to the final pot now, which features Athletic Club, TSG 1899, Hoffenheim, OGC Nice, Anderlecht, FC Twente, Besiktas, FCSB, RFS of Latvia, and the Swedes of Elfsborg. So let's see who's getting whom for the last time. Giorgio, pot 4, all yours.
We are ready to go. Aris, let's kick off pot 4.
Besiktas.
Now Besiktas, JK from Istanbul, of course, twice in the quarterfinals. They have received, as all the other teams in this pot, 6 opponents that we can see on the screen. We can go ahead and draw the last 2.
Yeah, this is where we can rattle through the draw. Only 2 teams left for Besiktas. From pot 4, they host Athletic Bilbao, and they travel to the Netherlands to take on FC Twente.
Yes, who comes after Besiktas?
Hoffenheim.
That's Hoffenheim from Germany. They will play against 6 already known, round of 32 in 21. Please push the button for the other 2.
Yep, 2 to find for Pellegrino Materazzo's side. And here they come, FCSB at home for Hoffenheim, and a trip to Belgium to take on Anderlecht in Brussels.
Yeah, and that's all for Hoffenheim as well. We're ready. We can continue with another team.
Twente.
And we go back to the Netherlands with the FC Twente. FC Twente, they play 7 opponents known already. 1 needs to be drawn, and we can draw them.
Glenn, thank you very much. Yeah, just 1 for FC Twente to complete their journey in the league phase. They'll be here. Not here. Just down the road.
Close.
At OGC Nice from pot 4.
Yes, that's Twente. We have another 6, and then everything is done.
Elfsborg.
And we start with the Swedish side of Elfsborg. Ellsworg playing against 6. They need to be allocated 2 more. Glenn, please.
Glenn, as a Swede, interested, I'm sure. Elfsborg are at home to Nice, and they are at the San Mamés to take on Athletic. So nice work, you two. Good combination play, Giorgio.
Yes, yes, testing San Mamés. Also for Ellsborg, we can continue.
Athletic Club.
And that's, I see from the face of Aritza how happy he is when he spells this name, Athletic Club. Actually, Athletic has already drawn all the opponents who are Slavia Praga, Roma, Alkmaar, Fenerbahce, Victoria Pilsen, Ludogorets, Elfsborg, and Besiktas. So this is the lineup for Athletic Bilbao. I hope you're happy.
Happy, happy. Anderlecht.
So Anderlecht, so the glorious Brussels team, they have already received 7 different opponents, and Glenn, you will draw the last one.
Glenn, thank you very much. Yes, the last opponent from pot 4 is RFS, and that is the journey for Anderlecht then.
Yes, that was Anderlecht, 3 more.
FCSB.
Football Club FCSB from Bucharest. FCSB also know 7 of their opponents. With this button now, we will reveal the 8th.
Excellent work, Glenn. Lovely button pushing. And it is the acronym derby. FCSB, their 7th of the 8 opponents are RFS of Riga.
Yes, that's it. Let's go ahead. We have only 2.
Nice.
OGC Nice, the team that never draws. They played 30 matches and never one single draw. Let's see if in these 8 matches they will draw 1. But they know all their 8 opponents: Rangers, Lazio, Real Sociedad, Ferencváros, Bodo Glimt, Union Saint-Gilloise, Twente, and Elfsborg. And only 1 left in the pot.
RFS.
The Latvian side of RFS, and obviously they know also their 8 opponents who are Ajax, Frankfurt, PAOK, Maccabi, Galatasaray, Dinamo Kiev, Anderlecht, and FCSB.
Relax, Glenn. Your button-pushing days are over. The draw for the UEFA Europa League is now complete. Let's take a quick recap of Pot 4, which sees, among other ties, Besiktas taking on Athletic Club, Anderlecht against Hoffenheim, and Nice will take on FC Twente.
It's all looking good, isn't it, Matt? Our thanks to our special guests this afternoon. Great multitasking, Glenn and Aritz. Well done. Thank you very much for helping us with the draw today, Giorgio, as well, for your smooth handling of proceedings, as always.
That is it. From us here at the Grimaldi Forum, the UEFA Europa League gets underway on Wednesday, the 25th of September, with the final taking place, as we've said, at the one and only San Mamés Stadium. That's on Wednesday, the 21st of May next year.
Should be incredible, shouldn't it? Good luck to all the 36 teams that have qualified for this season's competition. Thank you to everyone watching here in Monaco and around the world. We look forward to seeing you in the competition very soon. Bye-bye.